Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, back with my chart haul video for January 2K25. 2K25 marks the year in which my channel turns 10 years old, and sometimes I wonder why it has not grown like exponentially kind of, but still like stuck around at 330 subscribers. So if you have an idea about that, like leave me a note in the comments. Would be interesting to like hear your thoughts about that. But now let's go into the records I liked most within the past 4 weeks. Definitely those are released in like last year, I guess, because I bought them mostly like before Christmas, before the distribution company like took the Christmas break basically, and well, but still I like them a lot. Starting with something unusual. You don't see much on my channel, so this is Gasoline, a Snap Your Neck Back EP on the Beat Squeeze label, which is a 7-inch, which is not that unusual. And it's colored, which is not unusual either, but this is hip-hop, like proper boom bap, scratch loading, crime scene hip-hop, a 33 RPM 7-inch vinyl with like 3 tracks on beautiful yellow vinyl. And additionally, which I find really interesting, there are those in the end of this side, probably you can see that with the grooves, there are like 3 DJ tools in there for scratching actually, which are like most DJ scratch records like described as scratch proof. And this record brings back a vibe I really loved in the early 90s, mid 90s, like proper darkish hip hop. You could play this in a trip hop set as well. And yeah, very, very interesting stuff. And I really dug this, caught my attention just through the cover. And then I like listened to the snippets and bought this, and well, really enjoy this one. So if you're a hip hop head, Gasoline, Snap Your Neck Back EP is one to check out. There's also an album alongside this one, which I haven't bought, but yeah, this is a thing. And another unusual thing, another 7-inch, is King Kong Come Down on the Jah Almighty label, which has a bit of a story behind this. First of all, this is reggae and diggy dub, so I'm rediscovering my love for dub, which has been sparked in the late, about 94, 95-ish maybe, and at that time I bought quite a few of those albums, and I saw this and got interested. There's a bit of a story behind this one. First of all, this is super seductive, conscious reggae, diggy reggae, a lot of religious references, and like, well, that whole shenanigans about how Babylon is bad and stuff, and how the soul shall be freed from Babylon. So this is interesting in itself, super seductive, super catchy. And the story behind this was originally a 2012 release, I guess, on Jah Almighty, which came with a mastering mishap, so there was actually no bass on the B side, which is basically the version, the rhythm track, the dub, whatever you want to call this. Here it is called the dub version, but it came without the bass for some weird reason, and now they have remastered it and restored this, and for the first time the dub version is available with the proper bass, and this is super seductive, and there are a lot of interesting dub and reggae re-releases coming out, like, or I see in the vinyl warehouse like a lot, and well, my want list in that realm gets bigger and bigger. And even though I would never like call myself a reggae dub DJ in any form, I definitely want to get like more of that stuff into my collection as well, and probably start playing that out in the context of, like I've always done, like more trip hoppy, down tempo stuff, and then venture off into a few dub, or like 30 minutes or an hour of dub and reggae, and then come back into hip hop, trip hop, and all that kind of stuff. Probably in a bar context if it's possible. So Jah Almighty is the label, King Kong Come Down is the record, re-released from 2012. Good stuff, proper bass, very seductive. Get this. The next one is more in the dance realm, with a super beautiful cover. On the Long Island Electrical Systems label, short l.i.e.s records. This is Tom Carruthers' Downtown Rhythms, and this is definitely looking the part, or like sounding the part to what it looks. This is like a super great emulation album, which exactly sounds like late 80s, early house music, clubhouse, a little bit of Balearic in there, a little bit of deep house in there, but basically, yeah, late 80s stuff. Here is the l.i.e.s Records logo on the label. Long Island Electrical Systems, and Tom Carruthers is one producer which has been like super active within the past like 2 or 3 years. Has a lot of 12 inches out there, ranging from house to like electro to acid infused stuff. Always great stuff. I definitely need to buy more of his music because, well, this is fascinating how much stuff that guy is putting out. But this one especially got me through that, well, emulation of the, or yeah, recreation more than an emulation of that late 80s house sound. Not super bassy because, well, back in the days the original productions weren't, but highly seductive stuff, late nights for like small house clubs, maybe like those, you know, those like hidden somewhere in the red light district with like 120, 150, max 200 capacity, where like only the local music lovers go and no tourists like go into, basically. So Tom Carruthers, Downtown Rhythms on the London Electrical Systems label, highly recommended if you're into house music and if you're into like especially like late 80s house. The next one is totally different. It's a white label, and I like unfortunately grabbed a marker that was basically too soft and too thick to write the name on there, but this is on the Hardcore label, DJ Hardcore in Love. This is a one-sided white label record, limited to I don't know how many, but not many copies. Here is a nice smiley sticker, and this is supposedly a record that was meant to come out like for 30 years but never has come out, and sounds like it. So this is basically a mixture of like 1994 GABA and happy hardcore stuff with like super cheesy vocoder vocals, and yeah, it's like super hard on the one side, but on the other side super cheesy and ravey and whatever, and yeah, this made me smile a lot when I heard this first. The B-side is blank, of course, 2 tracks on one side, unusual format, but I really like that approach. And yeah, this I don't know if there are a lot of like labels from back in the days, like Knorr Records from I guess Rotterdam, I guess, and a lot of compilations like Rave Master or whatever, all those that came like shortly after Thunderdome, but then focused a little bit on more happy hardcore, GABA mixtures, cheesy stuff. This is exactly the realm this goes into, and super enjoyable, like fun music. And I definitely want to get myself more into hardcore again, so this was a nice addition to the collection there. The next one is a classic which has been reworked on the XL Recordings label. You all know XL from The Prodigy, of course, and what this is Over Mono and the Streets, Mike Skinner. You've seen that compilation in last month's chart hall video he did for Fabric. Turn the Page, an Over Mono rework, reimagination, and Turn the Page basically was the opening track, I guess, of the original The Streets album, original Pirate Material, when it came out like 20 years ago maybe, which was a milestone for UK garage and stuff, and UK urban music. Here's the label in proper, and Over Mono has taken the vocals and put them in a new context, kind of still within the UK garage realm, but more modern, with like epic bass and synth lines, and also like a sequence where this thing gets totally out of control and like glitchy, and goes into a glitchy jungle direction, and but like takes a turn into modern UK garage, future garage again. So really enjoyable. And there is a quote from the song where he says, Mike Skinner says, like, I'm 45th generation Roman, and this is basically etched into the record here. I hope you can see this proper. So if you're collecting etched records, this is another edition to go for, and yeah, this is a good good tune, Turn the Page, in its original form is a great track, and to see this being revamped in like 2024 is also great. Over Mono and the Streets, Turn the Page, a great record to add, and definitely you prove once again that the XL Records label, even though it's like all over the place these days in terms of releases, still has like an eye or an ear for like good proper hits and good proper tunes. Second to last is on the Vinyl Fanatics label, which is run by Brand Newitt from Aquasky, formerly on Moving Shadow, and which is one label that unearths a lot of like breakbeat, happy hardcore, jungle classics, and this is the Minds at Large All Sorts EP on beautiful marbled, dirt marbled vinyl, kind of reddish, kind of pinkish. Minds at Large All Sorts EP. A lot of interesting stuff on here, like breakbeat jungle, atmospheric jungle, and my main reason to buy this one, which is like, by the way, limited to 350 copies, is the track Tunnel Vision, which is like an epic, like breakbeat hardcore, jungle hardcore tune from the dark side, and it uses a very specific synth line, which is or has been sampled a lot in drum and bass, and I guess I remember that from, I don't know, it's Truly One on the old drum and bass track. I guess it's Truly One, or there's another one on, I guess it's Ram Records from way back, some of the great like drum and bass tune, which basically defined the idea of drum and bass being the music for like which takes you like riding through a long black tunnel when you're like listening to that in a club environment. So this synth line alone and this sample here in Tunnel Vision is like the main reason for me to buy this, but the other tracks are great as well. Limited to 350 copies, I guess. So on 180 gram vinyl. Minds at Large All Sorts EP on Vinyl Fanatics, which is definitely a label to keep an eye on if you're like into old school breakbeat, jungle, and all that kind of stuff. And the last one is from the Vienna-based label that is called Trust, which always comes in these interesting label sleeves, which are very minimal, but still there's somewhere the Trust logo on there and very small. And this is a collaboration 12-inch between Assembler Code and Jensen Interceptor. Both like staple names in the electro scene. Basically, Jensen Interceptor had like a few releases on the famed Trezor label recently, over the past years. The artwork screams electro in some way, and this is what it is, like super fast electro stuff, clean, some electro techno on there with like a straight 4/4 bass drum. One track has like a surprisingly interesting halftime sequence in there to the around the end, I guess, and yeah, I love electro as well. Timeless music. You can play this now, and you can play this like 20 years down the line, but it will still sound great. And also electro, getting more electro into the collection again is one of my plans when I like spin more, which I hope happens. I had like a talk with someone today via message. So Energy Levels, Jensen Interceptor, and Assembler Code on the Trust label from Vienna, a label to watch out for anyway. Don't release very much, like in terms of records over 1 year, but I guess this is a catalog number 47, so they've been around for like a minimum of 10 years, more like 15, I guess. So they don't release much, but they release quality stuff, and well, that's it. My favorite records for like January 2K25. I hope you enjoyed. As I said in the beginning, if you have some idea like why this channel isn't growing properly, let me know. Anyway, otherwise check my social media things down there in the doobly-doos. Watch my Instagram for updates, my Twitter for updates, and also let me know what you think about the basic grid change in Instagram, which happened like tonight, turning everything from like a square format to like, I guess, 4x5 or 5x4, whatever this is, and it sucks and looks bad. So let me know about that as well. So Bass Junkie out for now. See you in the next one.